Authors Tell All, a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, we are live here on Authors Tell All with author Asar. He will be talking about his books, writing, and what it's like being an author. Let's get into this. So, how many books have you written so far?
Oh, wow. So far? Okay. Are you counting? Okay, so far, are you counting published or the ones on my flash drive? I have too many. I have way too many. But as far as published goes, that's 8.
Eight?
That's 8.
Okay, so what about the ones that you haven't published yet?
Man, I think I'm on like number 13 or 15. I kind of lost count. I gotta plug my flash drive in when I get off to figure out how much is actually on there.
Wow, that sounds like how I work. I have like more than 5 books ready to be published, and it's fun writing stories and, getting into character and creating so many different characters and lives and storylines and all that. So, what's your favorite part of being an author?
My favorite part of being an author is the reviews. if I want to be honest, I'm an honest soul, so I have to be honest. Mm-hmm. The best part is the reviews, because it's with the reviews you can see how your work has touched people and made them feel something. Because that's one of the main reasons I write anyway. It's like when it was a hobby, I was just writing because it was fun to do. But now being an author and now people reading my material and they're reading my material, and then I'll write a character and then I'll literally read a review and it's like, well, this character, God, I hated her so much. I'm like, well, dag, I didn't want you to hate her, dag. She's not real. She's not real, but once again, the best thing about being an author is, besides the reviews, it's breathing life into your work. It's making your work as real as possible to the point where people feel your words. They feel the words that are coming off the page, and that's one of the best feelings you can get.
That is very true. I feel the same way. I love reading over the reviews that I get from fans, readers. Everybody, I say this every time, everybody is not going to like your work, but the ones that you get that like your work and are very supportive of you, I love that. And I know you have a nice big fan base, because to have 8 books and then you get a review the first day or in a few hours that your book is live, that's amazing. That means you're doing something, and I love that. So,
thank you.
You're welcome. When did you publish your first book?
Oh man, my first book, that was 2000. That was 2000 and I published one book, and that's the whole story within itself. It's not on Amazon anymore. It's on Goodreads. That was just, if I go into that story, I'm not going to get mad. you're going to be staring, you're just going to be staring into space, and everybody listening is just going to be, wait, what? Because it was just some very trifling stuff. Mm-hmm. Like basically when I published my first book, I got a crash course in what not to do in this industry.
Mm-hmm. And what is that?
Basically, if you have a dream and you're doing it, don't rush your dream. Take your time.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Because I wrote the book. Yeah, I wrote the book. It was called Torrid Passions. It's still on Goodreads. So I wrote it. It took me a year to write it. And when I was done writing it,
mm-hmm.
like, I submitted it to a couple of publishers. And the first one that said yes, I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go. Cool. Great. Dream. Let's go. Good. And the publisher I had at that time, the publisher I had at that time, it's like she did everything everything I didn't want to happen happened.
Mm-hmm.
She liked my work, but then she started marginalizing my work, like telling me what, basically, you sign an author to a deal, and then you read their work, and then you're going through their work, and she basically was like, okay, you can't have the word nigga in here. You got to take this out. This person can't be the way you made this character. We need to change that. And it's like,
mm-hmm.
no, wait, hold on. So you signed me. You liked the book that I wrote, but now you want to change it. And so it's not my creation anymore. It's the fact that you signed me, so now you can take my work and just do whatever you want to it now, huh?
Mm.
It was just a very strenuous back and forth because as Erykah Badu once said, I'm an artist and I am sensitive about my shit.
That is very true.
I believe.
I am too.
Yeah, as we are. It was just a strenuous back and forth because it's like, number one, as far as I believe, like when you're writing books and everything and you're creating, that's your creation. You put your blood, sweat, tears, everything into the books we write. And for somebody to basically say, yeah, I like your work, and then right off the bat start wanting to change things. I mean, I don't mean to sound like, I don't want to sound like a prima donna, but it's like, don't say you like my work and then do everything you can to mold it into what your image of what my work should be.
That is true. That is very true. That is very, very true. That's crazy.
And that was my first sign. Like, it was really a strenuous. It was a strenuous back and forth to the point where, and then the other thing that was really messed up about it was I signed for one book, not two, one, Torrid Passions, and then I was done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I was done, even to the point where, and then another thing in this industry, always has legal counsel. I have a lawyer. He's a good friend of mine. He always helps me out. And he looked over the contract. I looked over the contract. I sent it to him before I signed it. And then I signed it and sent it to her. And then she said everything was cool. The book was published. And then all of a sudden she was like, hey, so there's that blank second line there. So you owe me another book. I'm like, no, we agreed on one book. I saved all the emails we have. We agreed on one book. I'm done. Because I told you, after everything I went through before, I'm like, okay, I signed this contract. Let me put this book out. And then I'm done. And she really tried to pigeonhole me into writing a whole nother book or giving her a whole nother book to the point where I was literally talking to my lawyer like, he was like, do you want to sue her ass? Because I'm ready to sue her. She like my lawyer didn't even talk to her, didn't even know who she was. And my lawyer, it's one thing for you to be upset, but when your lawyer calls you and it's like, do you want to sue this person because she's getting on my nerves?
Right.
That's pretty telling. That's pretty telling.
That really is. Because, I mean, if you put in your contract that it says the author is liable to write one book, and then all of a sudden you say, oh, it's a blank line, you owe me two, then you're on some other stuff that we did not agree on. I signed a contract for one book. It was approved. That's it. That's all in my contract. Let me have my book. Let me move on from this publishing company and let that be that. Don't try to hold me on to me through me signing my name on this contract that was for one book. Not multiple, one. Yeah, I would have said, do you want me to sue? Do you want to sue? I would have said that too, because we're not going to go back and forth with this. So in the end result, okay, we know you're with a different publisher now. How did it end?
Basically, okay, I'm a gentleman. My mama raised me to be a gentleman. So I wrote her an email. Yeah, so I wrote her an email, and me and her went back and forth again, and she was like, and then she basically acquiesced, and she basically said, okay, if you want out, you can be out, and that's all well and good. And then I was being a gentleman about the situation. She said a lot of disparaging things in that email and in those voicemails that she, like those Facebook voice things that she sent me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, is it that serious, woman? Like, is it that, like, you really feel some type of way? You put me through all this, and I want out. And because I want out, you really wanted to call me out of my name. And in my brain, I'm like, you're so lucky my mama raised me to be a gentleman. Because if I was like any of these other like dudes out here, I would have just cussed you, called you out your name, and said all this other stuff. But no, I can't do that. Like, I mean, you can put me, like, I mean, basically, I'm a pretty calm person. Like, I only get upset at certain things. Yeah, I only get upset at certain things, and she almost got me to the point where I almost called her out of her name.
Mm-hmm, right.
I almost called her out of her name to the point where my girlfriend at the present moment, she was like, okay, if you don't want to call her out of the name, give me the phone, I'll do it.
Right, I would have said the same thing.
She was there for all of that, and she saw all the stress I was going through, and she was like, okay, you don't want to call her out of her name, we have her number, give me the phone, I'll cuss her out, I don't care. Like,
right. Because that's just very disrespectful, and you're trying to be professional, then you have someone who is just being rude. Like, please don't make me get out of my character, and I'm trying to be right in this situation. So, on a positive note, how did you find your new publisher that you're with now? How long did that take you? Yes.
Oh, Miss Candace? Oh, that took about a day, actually. That took about a day. That took about a day, because, I mean, after everything I went through with that one publisher, then I just started searching around. I just started looking around, because it was crazy. I mean, this is probably, I was about 25, 26 then. I was still new to all of this, so I became a published author. A lot of authors, you yourself, added me on Facebook, giving me all the support in the world, and I'm like, okay, cool. And so I'm buying your book still, because I've always been a fan of everybody's work. First thing, I'm a fan before everything else. So I'm reading everybody's work. Yeah, so I'm reading people's work, and then all of a sudden, wait, you publish books too?
Right.
Wait, you publish books, and it's like, and I'm sitting there in my house with the dumb look in front of my computer, like, wait, you publish books too? And I'm like, let me give this a shot. I mean, because once again, I'm all about energy and good vibes and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, so I went to the website, I looked up who she had already as an author, and I was like, okay, let me give this a shot. And then let me pray my ass off, and then let me pray my ass off this works. And then a couple of days later, she got back to me. That was my first novel I published under her, which was Loving Alexis Curves. And she was like, hey, I like this. I sent her the first 3 chapters. She liked it. Okay, I hate to use this expression, but the rest is kind of history because it's been 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Right. So.
Yeah, 2 years and 8 books later.
Yeah. So, when have you realized that, oh my gosh, I'm an author and I really made something of myself? When did you finally, realize that?
This might sound crazy. I mean, because I know I'm an author, but I'm a humble person. I know I'm an author. I know I write books. I know I have this other alter ego outside of the person everybody knows. And it finally hit me when, I work for the free library here in Philadelphia. So I work for the free library, and certain people know that I write books, and certain people don't. So it was when my third book came out, and it was when my third book came out, and I submitted it to the library, and I submitted it to the library to get it put in the library system,
right.
and then the director who works with all that, her name is Elijah, right? Her name is Elijah. She's a good friend of mine still, and then all of a sudden, I got the paperback version of my book. I gave it to her. It's like, hey, I want to put all these books in the library system. Can we do that? And she was like, and then before she even answered, and I still can't believe she did this. In front of the HR department, she screamed. And when I mean screamed, it's like she screamed like Michael Jackson was in front of her. She screamed like Michael Jackson was in front of her. And she was like, oh my God, you wrote these books? Can I have your autograph? And I was like, wait, you want my what?
Right.
The fact that one of my coworkers asked me for my autograph, I'm like, okay, I actually did it. I'm actually an author now. Somebody asked me for my autograph.
I would have. Inside, I would have died inside, I kind of would have fainted inside and then kept my composure. But I would have had the same expression and what? Huh? I'm just a regular person just writing books. Huh?
Yeah.
Right. I would have felt the same way because I'm very humble myself. I'd have been like, sure. Right? I wouldn't because of course, I haven't processed it yet. And I know you probably felt the same way, what? You wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
But that's an awesome feeling, too.
Yes, it was. And it's it was an awesome feeling. And then and then while I'm walking out, I was at the main library downtown. It's called it's a central library. And I'm in there, and I'm walking out because I still have to go to work. So I'm going to my station, and it's I'm walking to where they need me, and it's don't do a happy dance, don't do a happy dance, don't do a happy dance on my way to my station. Yeah, don't do a happy dance. Just maintain your composure until you get out of work.
I would have sped walk to the bathroom somewhere private and just kind of broke down, then was happy, then broke down again, and then just did all the emotions in one. I would have got that out quick because I couldn't have bottled that inside. You get what I'm saying? I had that slight same experience, but I was out and I was at my favorite store in the mall, And I went up to the counter and I was like, oh, do you have this in a size such and such? And then she just looked at me and I was wondering, like, I'm like, why is she like looking at me this way, right? And she was like, do I know you? And I was like, I come in this store a lot. It's my favorite store. Maybe, you seen me come in here more than once, and we probably said hi, hello, whatever. So I went on about my way, went up there to get my package because now you can send your packages to the stores now. So I was going up there to get my package, and I was like, okay, well, I'm here to get my package, whatever. Here's my ID, proof, whatever. She was like, oh, I was like, are you okay? She was like, she was like, I know you, or you wrote such and such. Oh my God, I've been waiting on you to bring out the next book, and when are you going to publish this and that? I was like on the spotlight, and there was like a whole line, and I was like, my face was red. I could tell it. I was like hot, and I was like, I did write that book. And she was like, yeah, I follow you on Facebook and everything. And oh my God, you're my favorite writer. You're so inspirational. I was like, thank you, right? I was just wanting in that package so I could just run out of the store. That's how like nervous and stuff I was. I was just like so like my face just looked like a big red tomato. So I knew she seen that. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I was like, no, it's fine, right? In my head, I was like, oh, God, I wish I had a book in my car signed to just give it to her or something. Because, we don't expect that to happen in that situation.
Exactly.
To be able to be like, well, here you go. And then that moment, take a picture or whatever. Like, your mind isn't running on that. You're not running on fame or anything like that. So I signed piece of paper for her, and I just hurried up and got about the store. I was like, Mom, let's go before anybody else try to bum rush me or something. I was like, I got the package, let's go to the car. I'm ready to go home. I didn't even want to do nothing else that day because I was like still in shock. Then when I finally got in my room, I closed the door. I was like, yes. I was just like screaming and stuff. My mom was like, you good? I was like, no, I'm not. Let me process real quick. I am not okay. I'm happy, but I'm not okay. So I get how you feel. Like, that's an amazing feeling.
Okay, can I ask you a question, though? What's the weirdest thing you've signed? Because I was at dinner, and someone came up to me, and I actually had to sign their dinner napkin.
There. Oh.
That was a weird thing.
Now, listen. When I was at the store, she was like, let me find something to sign, right? She was like, here, just sign the receipt. I'll keep it. I don't care. I'll print you another one. Just sign the receipt. I was like, okay. It was actually my receipt. She said, I'll print you another one. Just please. So I signed the receipt. I actually bought that day. So I was like, okay. Right? Then everybody was looking at me. I was like, oh, I got to get out to the store before I end up passing out, and then it's another situation. I was like, no. But it was a receipt. I was like, wow.
Dinner napkins and receipts.
Yeah. That's crazy. So, off that point, what is the best book, in your opinion, that you've wrote?
Oh, man. The best book so far that I have written was Fly on the Wall, Hearts Don't Break Even. That is the best book I have written so far.
And tell us about that. Give us a little insight. Like, what is it about?
Oh, man. There's so much context and conjecture when it comes to that one. Oh, man. It's about three individuals. Man, like, sorry, just even thinking about that book again, I'm cheesing over here. Like, that is one of my, that is literally one of my best books, where basically it's about three individuals, and two of the individuals are about to get married, and they're about to get married, and my male protagonist, he's thinking life is good and great, and he's about to get married, and life is good, while his fiance is just out doing all of this crazy stuff that he doesn't know about, and then you have the antagonist who is the fiance say it's best friend, and she knows everything that's going on. And I pulled a lot of that from real life. So, that's one of my best books because most of that was real. Most of that came out of things that I had experienced already, and the way I feel about things, and the way I feel about relationships, and things of that nature. Because while you get all the characters' points of view, because all the character chapters are written in first person, then you get the quote-unquote fly's point of view, because it's called Fly on the Wall for a reason, because there's an actual fly that you're talking to, that stuff will happen in the book, and then the fly will give, okay, this is what they just told you, but that's BS, because this is what's happening. You know, it's like, I mean, it's basically that conjecture of when you tell your friend, it's like when you tell your friend something, and they can read through the BS that you're saying. It's like, okay, you just told me this, but I know you, and this is what's really going on.
Right. That's I would definitely read that. That's like my type of read. It really is, because I'm a reader and an author. I love books. You know, I'm a bookworm. So that is definitely a book that I would gravitate to. It really is.
It's on Amazon if you want it.
Yeah, don't tempt me. Do you know how many books I've had come in the mail in the last week? Literally, I've been buying books nonstop. You know, I'm trying to build up my bookshelf in my room. But definitely, that is definitely something I'll get some. End up charging my card. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks for the heads up. And it was.
Oh, go ahead. You didn't have to pause.
Sorry. And like I said before, during that time when I was writing that book, I was going through a really harsh breakup at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, writing is also therapeutic, and writing can really help you heal during a time like that. And
right.
I just put all of the pain and the hurt that I was feeling into that book, and with the reviews and things of that nature. I mean, heck, people still message me about that book, and it's like, and sometimes it's like, okay, but you realize I have like 5 other books, right? And it's like, yeah, I'm reading those, but this one right here, I'm like, okay. After I published it in about 6 months to 9 months later, you guys are still talking about this book. Okay, that's my best book. But yeah, I put so much into that though, and the readers can feel everything that I put into that book. So that's why it's the best. That's why it's the best.
Right. That's a very good point. Because I do want to get at that point. I'm not rushing anything at all. I really do want to get to that point where someone says, oh my God, I love that book. But you know, just like what you said, but you know, that's my first or second book or third. I have like 10 now. The new one just came out whenever. Oh, but that's my all-time favorite and I just love that book. Well, alrighty then, you know. And I'll just let you have that. But I want my readers to love all the books. You know what I'm saying? You know, you'll have some stories that they love and then some they might not love as much. You know, that happens, but I put my heart and my soul into my work, just like you said. And I remember that I made a post, what was this, like 2 weeks ago? And I said, I think I said, have you killed? No, the heartbreak. There we go. I said, have you turned your heartbreak, your broken heart, into a story? And your comment was like, yeah, I killed off a few exes. I said, my man, I love it. Those stories is the best. Those stories right there are the best.
I mean, I've done that. Like I said, I took in 2 or 3 books, and I took in 2 or 3 relationships and turned those into books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Emotional Ties was, like, Fly on the Wall was one of them. My book, Emotional Ties, is another one. And Loving an Election is Cursed, that was another one. But Loving Election is Cursed, that one actually, that was a relationship that was, okay, we're not in a relationship anymore, but we're friends, though, and we can be friends, and we're good. Like, okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
But those other two, oh, man, that was just, those did not end the way I wanted them to, not at all.
Exactly. I completely understand. Now, I haven't went through a heartbreak to be able to put that certain emotion into a book, but I can definitely, with my overactive imagination, I could definitely conjure that emotion, watch a sad movie, something to give me that emotion, just write the scene or what have you. Speaking of that, have you written a scene yet or a book that has made you, get like a little teary-eyed, maybe just a little bit?
Oh, man, well, okay, Emotional Ties,
Mm-hmm.
I cried writing most of that book. I cried. It was like writing that book. My friends were scared because it was like you're crying all the time. You're not saying anything. Are you eating? It's like they literally thought I was depressed while I was writing that book.
Mm-hmm.
I dug into some very, very, well, I didn't dig into a dark place. I kind of had to go back to a very dark place because in, like, that story, I mean, okay, sometimes we write fiction stories and it's awesome, but then sometimes we pull from parts of our lives and it's like for me, if you really want to know me, like, get a gist into my life,
Mm-hmm.
to a certain extent, go read Emotional Ties. Just go read Emotional Ties, because it's like, because I remember, relationships are one thing, but my first heartbreak in my life, it didn't come from somebody who is like, okay, we're friends, and things are cool, and okay, and I like you, so, and then it wasn't a teenage thing where, okay, I liked a girl, she didn't like me, or she played me or something. Like, no. Emotional Ties comes from a place. Basically, my main character in that one, who is basically me, he's basically having to come to grips and deal with how he views love and how he views the opposite sex and how he truly deals with sex itself. Because, in the story, when he was young, in the story, when he was younger, he was touched by a female. So it was like, and that comes with a lot of things.
I get how you're talking about it. I can almost like feel the emotion in it. You get what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah.
what I think is that was you letting go. There we go. That was you letting go with that story. So you needed that outlet to have all your emotions spill out. So I know I don't feel as if you were depressed. I feel as if you needed that to, let it go and let it release or whatever. And you did all that in your book. Okay,
Yep.
People who don't write or maybe don't even read like we do, they wouldn't understand kind of what you're going through to put all that into a novel or a series. That's exactly what I feel that you had to go through, to come out with this piece of beautiful work from all your emotion.
Because when I first wanted to do it, I called my mom, because my mom is one of my biggest supporters. My mom's a writer in her own right, and then on top of that, without my mom, I don't think I would have started writing anyway. Because my mom noticed my talent, and she was like, "You're doing something with this. You are not just going to sit on this. You're going to do something."
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. So I gave my mom a scene from the book, and my mom just stared at me, like, because my mom knew where I got that from, and she was just staring at me, and you know how moms are. Your mom doesn't have to speak to you to speak to you. All moms have to do is just look at you a certain way, and it's like, you know exactly what they're saying.
Right.
And just she looked at me dead in the face, and she was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Just without any words, she just looked at me. It's like, "Are you sure you want to put this out there for the world to see?"
Right. Exactly.
And I just looked at her, and I was like, and then Mom wasn't speaking, but I told her, I'm like, "Mom, I know how you feel about this. I mean, I know me and you still talk about this sometimes, but Ma, I gotta let this go. I can't keep holding on to this. It's like, yeah, I know I got over it and I got past it. I mean, hell, I wouldn't even be with you if what happened didn't happen.
Right.
But it's like, I gotta get this. I gotta get all this out." And then me and her talked for about half an hour about it. And with her blessing, I was like, okay, let me keep writing.
That's what I'm talking about. Because I surprised my dad and my mom with wanting to be a writer too. They thought I was going to be, just an artist. And, it's just going to be drawing and creating the graphics and all that. No, not at all. What made me gravitate towards writing, I've always was the one who was writing little short stories in multiple notebooks and entering little contests and poetry contests and all that little extra stuff. So when I got into my teens, that's when I really started writing. I was already so creative with drawing that writing was just another creativity for me because I had so much in my head that I can draw it out, but better, I can write a story about it and really give you the visual that I couldn't really do all too much in a drawing. You get the little point I'm going with that. Like, I can draw it, but then I can write it and tell a story that way too, just like I do in my art. So that's what basically, that is what basically made me want to write. Was just the artisticness of writing a story, and painting a picture that you can visualize in your head like a movie. And I also love making videos too. So that's another thing to give the visual of. So to me, it's all a connect for me. It's not separate. It all connects with me writing, editing, drawing, all that. It all connects. So when I told them, I said, I'm going to publish my first book when I turn this age and did it, they were shocked. They was like, where did all this come from? We get the artisticness, but where did the writing, when did that really jump into you to want to write a 80K word book and then get it published? I surprised everyone, actually, because nobody really knew that, she's going to be a writer. Nobody knew that. So when I did it and they seen it, it was like, wow, that's a shocker. Y'all thought she was just going to be the artist. No, there's many ways to be artistic. I put that all in my writing.
I kind of wish I had it like that. Since I was 8, all I was doing was writing. Even to the point where I got up to high school, and I went to a public high school, and I had all these friends around me, and it's literally, imagine you're at lunch, and you're in the cafeteria, you're eating lunch, you're talking to everybody, but in the middle of talking, you're just writing, and everybody's like, when are you going to get signed? That's like, that memory sticks out in my brain, because I heard it every single day. Even to the point where I was writing some of my stories, and while I'm writing it, people are reading it, and then people would come up to me in class or whisper to me in class, hey, so Khadijah, did Khadijah break up with Brian yet? And I'm like, who are you talking about? And I'm like, the people in your book. And I'm looking at them like, when did you read my book while you were writing it? And I'm just staring at them mad as all get out. Like, you're not supposed to be reading it while I'm writing.
Right. How dare you? No, I always say this is what we're not gonna do. You're not going to get a sneak peek and I haven't finished the story or, no. Get out. Y'all kicked out. You're banned. You're banned until I finish the book. And you might not get a chance to finish the book now because of what you just did. That's how I would feel. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other crazy thing is when it came to writing in that cafeteria, it was funny because it's like when I was just writing, everything was okay, and then when I'm writing a sex scene in the cafeteria, I'm just writing it and everything is cool, and then you know how you feel when there's like a whole plethora of eyes on you?
Yes.
It's like, imagine you're writing, and then all of a sudden it's a sex scene, and all of a sudden you just turn, you don't turn your head all the way. You just look over your shoulder, and you got like 4 people just drooling, eyes beaming on the paper, and it's like, and then you don't know what to do. It's like, and I didn't know what to do. It's like, okay, do I keep writing about these two getting it in, or do I stop so these people can stop drooling like hyenas at me?
Right. Me, I would have closed my notebook, did a look, and walked away. Me, in high school, when I was writing in the cafeteria notebook or my iPad or my computer, and I felt the same way. I was like, are people staring at me? That's how I felt. I was like, are people watching me? And my associate, my buddy, my best friend to this day, she knew I was a writer. Like, you know, when I was writing on an app and everything, I kind of kept it like a secret a little bit because I was like, do I really want people to know that I write? You know, this is just for fun for now. I'm going to pursue it soon, but I'm perfecting my craft. So I was like, do I want everybody in this school or whatever, or my social circle, to know that I write? I was like, nope. They're not going to be coming to me every day like, oh, I know you didn't, and I don't know how you know about that. I didn't want to hear that yet, you know? So I just told one person, well, 2 people, and let that be it, right? And when I'd be writing in cafeteria and whatever, she'd be looking over my shoulder like, oh, what's gonna happen next? I'd be like, girl, you disturbing me. Don't have me leave this table to go to the library. Leave you here by yourself, right? While I'm trying to write. That's exactly how I felt. Like, are people looking at me? Like, I know they don't know. Do they know? Like, do they know I write or whatever? That's how I felt when I was writing certain stuff. I was like, do they know I know? What? Wait. That's how I felt like. My mind was like so boggled. But her, she just wouldn't stop. She'd just be like, I have to read every chapter you write. You're going to give it to me. I'm going to read it. I was like, but the book cannot, no, you cannot finish the book. I need to know. I was like, the struggle. So I know exactly how you feel with that. That was something. That really was something.
It's annoying as all get out, but it works.
Right. That's all what told her. It's just like, get away from me. Let me just like write this, and then I'll decide if I'll let you read it. You already know I'm not gonna let you read it. I'm gonna finish the entire book, and then you can read the book. But it's cool to have that little support. But I like to be off in my own space while I write. I can't have distractions or anything like that. All I need is my music and silence, and I'm good.
Yep.
So,
exactly.
What is your writing process like? How long does it take you to complete a series, a short story, a novel, so on and so forth?
Oh, man. See, okay, I like this question, but then I also hate this question so much. Because I don't have one. I honestly do not have one.
Really? I don't either.
Yeah, because, okay, I mean, because for me, it stems from, like, the autistic part of my brain, so it's like, yeah, so it's literally, it's like, okay, I'll just be out somewhere, and I'll hear something, or I'm listening to jazz, or I'm watching something on TV, or or my friends are telling me something, and then while they're talking to me inside my brain, it's like making mental notes.
Exactly.
You know, this will make a good story, and then all of a sudden, I'll just I'll do a character outline. You know, I'll write the synopsis. I hate writing synopsis. They're the damn devil.
You do?
But I mean, yeah, they're the damn devil. I hate synopsis.
I'm sorry.
I hate writing synopsis.
I'm sorry, but I love writing them. Like, I don't know. I just love writing the synopsis. It's just exciting. But continue on.
Okay, but and that was the thing. That was the thing I was about to say. I hate synopsis so much. I got so good at writing them that I write them now before I write the story.
Mm-hmm. I
hated something so much that I got good at it, so I could just get it over with.
Right.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I really do not have a writing process. I just like last night, I'll dream up a story. Like my dreams, like everything within me, like my aura, my spirit is just writing, even when I'm not. Like when I'm not thinking about it. Because I mean, just this past Tuesday, it's Friday now. Tuesday, I finished my 11th book that I'm going to publish. And then just last night, I had a whole dream. It was a bit spicy, but it's like, okay, I'm not dreaming about some girl I like. It's like, no, these are two characters from a story. Like, hey, write about us. We're the next characters for your book. And it's like, I just finished the book. Why do y'all have to bother me so much? It's like, I just got done a book. Can't I take a break? And they're like, tell that to your brain, man.
Right.
Tell that to your brain.
Our minds are something. Because I'm the same way. I have a very overactive imagination. Because, like you said, you write one book, finish it, and then pops up, and then you have another idea, all because you looked at a poster and was like, that's an idea. I'm going to write a book about it. That's exactly how I am. Like, it's nonstop. Like, I have so many ideas in my notes that are going to be books very soon. You know? And, like, I asked you, do you have a writing process? No, I don't either. Like, I tried so hard, but it just doesn't work for me. I like to free write, you know?
Yeah.
I go off of my notes, which is a scattered mess. I love my mess because all I have to do is look back at my mess and be like, okay, that's chapter 2. If I've had people who've looked at my notes and been like, what? I don't understand this. This is going to be a book? Yes, it is. You may not understand the way I'd write my notes, but I do. It's a whole map of work right there. That's how I go about it, and that's it. I don't even write a outline. Nope. I do not write an outline for my book.
Okay, see, I call it an outline, but for me, it's just, I'll have notes, but because I'm a high-functioning autistic, I can't do messy notes. So I'll just write clear notes as clear as day, and then it's like, okay, and then, so then I'll show somebody, and it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here. Okay, so when do you think you're going to get it done? I'm like, okay, I finished this book in a month, so maybe about a month and a half it might take me. I mean, I write so much to the point where my friends get mad at me now. It's like, you just finished the book, give me the laptop. I'm like, what? You heard me, give me your laptop. You're not writing for a month. Wait, what?
I would have been like,
No, they will literally get mad at me. Like, they will literally, it's like, no, you just finished a book. Give your brain a break, and you can come back to it later. And it's like, y'all, okay, as much as y'all love me, and I know y'all are doing this because y'all love me, y'all don't know how my brain works. Okay?
Exactly.
Okay, it's like, and I'm like, and I'm looking at them like, if I don't write for a month, I'm going to turn into an a-hole. And I'm just going to be staring at y'all like, y'all did this. Y'all took my laptop from me. So I'm an a-hole right now because y'all took my laptop from me.
I mean, you can take my laptop, but what about my phone? that I can write on? What about my iPad? And what about my notebook and my pen? You better take all that if you think I'm not going to go to something else to write my book.
Oh, wait. Wait. No. They were smart. My friends were smart. They, like, literally, okay, okay, fine, cool. Like, I was trying to be a smart ass. Like, okay, cool. Take the laptop. I'm good. And in my brain, I'm like, yeah, take the laptop. It's fine. And then I went to my mom's. And then I went to my mom's, went to go see my brother. And he's like, and I'm like, yo, Cal, where's the notebook at? And I'm like, he's like, dude, you're over here. We're hanging out. You're not writing. And I'm like, damn, all of y'all are just in cahoots on this bull crap, aren't you? Like, no, I was that upset. It was like, no. So it's not just my friends. Even y'all want me to take a break. Okay.
I'll take a break.
I see how it is. All of y'all are in cahoots.
Right. I'll take a break when my mind says I can take a break. How about that? How about them apples?
And the messed up thing is my friends and my family didn't even talk to each other at all. And I'm like, wait, did you talk to such and such? And they were like, no. Dude, you posted on Facebook, you finished a book. You're coming over here. You're spending the night. And if you're spending the night at home, dude, we're playing video games, we're eating pizza, we're having family time, dude. We don't care if it's 1 a.m. You're not going downstairs to write. F that noise.
I'd have been mad too. I'd have been like, are you serious? Do you really want me to go crazy within a month? You'll give me my computer back then, wouldn't you? Yeah. I'll sabotage everything you try to do. You better give me my laptop, my pen, and my paper, and everything else. That's exactly how I would feel.
No, but it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool taking that month's break, because while I was on that month's break, they just distracted all my time with going to the movies, going out, doing all these extracurricular things, and it's like, and the whole time they're just throwing it in my face. See what you miss when you're just writing all the time. Look how blue the sky is. Look how nice the sun is. And it's like, you guys realize I go outside. I have to go to work. I don't just stay in the house all day. And it's like, no, that's work. That doesn't count. Look up. The sky is blue.
Right.
Marvel at the blue. And it's like, wow, y'all suck. You know that? Y'all really do. I love y'all, but y'all are horrible people right now. And I'm saying this while I'm drinking a frozen strawberry daiquiri. Y'all are horrible people. This daiquiri is amazing, but y'all are horrible people.
Oh, that should be on a shirt. That's a quote. That is a quote. So, where do you see yourself, let's say in 10 years? Let's say 10 years.
10 years. Let me think. Probably 10 years and probably a wife, a couple of kids. I'm on the New York Times bestseller list. But yeah, in 10 years, you know what I want to do in 10 years? I'm just going to be dead honest with you. I want to wake up with my wife in bed next to me with my kids knocked out. It's probably about 6 in the morning. And then I want to wake up and go, okay, do I want to write today? No, I don't. Okay, let me just go to sleep and just be good. Like, I want my writing to be well enough that I can sustain myself off of it. Like, I believe that's every writer's dream. To basically, It's like, no, all I have to do is write, and the people I love and the people I care about in my own small little circle will be okay. Like, all I have to do is what I love to do, and I'm making enough income to support everything, and I'm good.
Right.
That's what I want in 10 years.
That is a beautiful picture. That is a That's very something to put in. That's very something positive to put into the atmosphere. Now that you did that, it's probably gonna happen. Like it's most definitely gonna happen. I believe in that stuff. Say something, and you put it out there. It's gonna happen. That's called good vibes.
Yep, and I'm a practicing Buddhist, so it's all about the good vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all about the good vibes. I mean, what you put into the universe, you get back. Karma, energy, all of that. Seriously.
Exactly. Like this whole interview has been so relaxing. That's what I wanted the mood to be like. You know, I did not want the author, such as you, to be nervous or, oh, what is she gonna ask me? I get that question all the time. Oh, is she gonna pop up and ask me something crazy? Is she gonna be messy? No. This is about authors having fun, talking about books and anything else you want to talk about. Honestly, it's not. It's an interview, but it's not. You know, it's like we know each other. That's how I want it to feel.
Shooting the breeze.
Yep, that's how I wanted it to feel. So.
Okay, but then another. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. This is something I rarely talk about, but it's something that was weighing on my mind because you asked me earlier. How did I know? Like I made it as an author.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I don't talk about. I mean, people asking me for my autograph, people recognizing who I am outside. That's all well and good, but like, okay, and I don't mean to sound weird when I say this, but I only thought y'all as female authors go through this. But when a female fan sent me a picture in my inbox, I was like, okay, I must be doing something right. Because I keep seeing all my female author friends complaining about dudes sending them pictures in their inbox. Now I got it, so I must be doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
And I must be doing something right. I'm like, okay, I'm going to delete this right now because I don't want to see anybody's JJs in my inbox. But it's like, okay, I must be doing something right if somebody sent me a picture. How do you? Okay, that's another thing that I wanted to ask. Like, how do you deal with that? It's like what possesses a person to do that?
Well, I'm not gonna say trying to be attention seeking because I don't want anybody to come for me who's listening to this. Some keep it subtle. Okay, they see an opportunity and they might want to take it. Okay, this is not an opportunity that you're gonna try and shoot your shot with. Not in that way. Okay, I hadn't had those two. This is, I don't know what you thought this was, but this is my business, and I made a post about this a while ago. I said this is my business page / author page. This is not a dating website. Thank you. Save your pictures for somebody else. Everybody was reacting and laughing. I was like, this is true. I'm glad someone said this because you're not the only author who gets this, right? And I'm the same way. Like, what's the point of it? Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, no, this is not how that's gonna go. I'm gonna delete this and then go on to writing my book. I don't get it either, but it happens. Don't understand why, but yeah.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
A lot.
Like, I mean, and it happens, and it's just like I'll be on Facebook and I'll just see it, and it's like, okay, there we go again.
Right.
Here we go again. Somebody did it again. Okay.
Right.
So it's like it's just certain things I just don't understand. I mean, this industry is crazy enough already.
Now let's hop on that. Thank you for saying that because I was going to ask you, how do you feel about the urban book industry?
Okay, I know it's not a two-part question, but I'm going to give a two-part answer if that's okay with you.
That's just fine.
Okay, the urban fiction genre industry, whatever, It's great. It's great if you have a circle of people around you that are on the same vibe, matching the same vibe as you. It's good. But if all you're around is the negativity and instead of hashtag authors supporting authors, it's hashtag authors competing against authors, and it's like, and I'm looking around, and it's like we all write books. Like what? What's the difference between, okay, this person writes this way, this person writes this way. We all write books. That's okay. Independent authors versus signed authors. Like I've seen it all. I've never engaged in the conversation. I'm like the Michael Jackson popcorn meme. I'm just sitting there watching everything.
Me
I
too.
mean, that's my stance.
Mm-hmm.
I'll literally just sit and watch everything. And the thing is, the other thing is, okay. One thing with me, I'll always make references to other stuff. So it's like, the Mystically said, you can learn more watching than being in the action.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just watching everything, and it's like, do y'all have nothing better to do than to just, okay, you're an author, you're following your passion, keep doing that. Why are you coming at this person for this and coming at this person for this? I mean, and then the crazy thing is, once again, I told you, I'm just here watching, and then I got it in my inbox one time, and I'm just, okay, delete. Because, even with my work, it's like, okay, urban fiction is urban fiction, and yes, with a lot of urban fiction, we get a bad rap, and it's BS most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's BS, and we get a very bad rap. It's something I've noticed. It's something that I've accepted. It's something I've accepted not because our work isn't good enough, but okay, I don't mean to say it like this, but hello, we're black. It's a thing we kind of get just off the rip. It's a bad rap for crap. Okay, and yeah, once again, I hate it. I hate that it's this way, but it is, and that's the crux of it. But with my works, okay, most of my characters, they're either authors or doctors or lawyers or things of that nature. And someone actually came to my inbox one time, and they were like, how can you call your stuff urban fiction? Like, there's no guns, there's no drugs, there's no hoes or anything in your books.
Right.
And I was just staring at my computer like, is this person serious?
Right.
Are you serious? Like, I'm glad you read my book. Thank you. But you really read my book and just is like, okay, your book's good, but you should classify this as something else. Basically, they accuse me of saying, hey, it's urban fiction, but it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so because there's not car chases and drugs and people robbing each other, that doesn't equate to urban fiction. Okay, literally, if that's your definition of urban fiction, you need to expand your mindset and grow up a little bit more. Like, seriously.
Right.
It's like no. And then the other thing is, I never claimed to be the toughest guy on the block. I never claimed to be the toughest guy on the block. I never claimed to be just running in the streets selling drugs, messing with a whole bunch of women, and that's the way I write. And it's like, no, I write from my own experiences. I may live in North Philly right now, but I'm from Mount Airy. Like, okay, and I'm not saying I was a privileged. I'm not saying I was ultra privileged growing up with like a 5-story house and a bunch of cars and everything like that. But no, like, the way I write my women characters, my female characters, comes from my mom and my aunts and the women that I had around me. They were all entrepreneurs, business women. Like, I can cuss on this show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't take any shit. It's like, yeah, they didn't take any shit. And then my mom raising me and my brothers. It's like, no, like, and with my mom raising my brothers, like, no, you stand up straight. You treat women like this. You treat yourself like this. You don't debase yourself. And if you're around people debasing themselves, you need to get away from them.
Right.
I mean, and these are lessons and things that I hold true, not to myself, but then also with the characters in my books. I mean, the one thing about me that most people in my personal circle know is the worst thing you can do is have me look at you sideways. Not twice, not 3 times, once. Because once you debase yourself, and what I mean by debase is, because once again, I get asked this question a lot too. What do you mean when you keep saying debase yourself? Because you keep talking about that on Facebook, but what do you mean by that? Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, and basically here's what I mean by that. It's like, okay, I have friends from all different walks of life. I have friends who are doctors. I have friends who are lawyers. I have friends who are sports players. I have friends that are strippers. And they're all cool people. Mm-hmm. Their occupation doesn't define them as who they are.
Right.
And and then let's take my friend as a stripper. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, she's a stripper, but yeah, I can still say hi and we can hang out and everything's cool. But then if me and her are talking, and then once again say, okay, you're a stripper, that's all well and good. But then once you tell me something like, hey, so I made a little bit extra money under the table because I did something with 2 guys last night. If I look at you sideways, it's like, no, you just debase yourself. You lowered the standard of who you are for money or profit or whatever. It's like, no, you just debased yourself. And now I got to look at you sideways. Like, this is what you're doing now? You
right.
think that's cool?
Right.
That's debasing yourself. It's like, no, whatever your job occupation is, I could really give a crap. It's like, no, as long as you're a cool person with a good vibe and we chill and life is good between us, we can be friends from now until the end of time and life is good. But once you start, but then it's also, okay, then I don't know if this sounds judgmental or not. You can tell me when I get done if it is. But once again, once you present yourself a certain way in my eyes, that you give me this perception of you, and we talk, and everything is cool, and you tell me this is the way you are, mm-hmm. and then a certain situation comes up, or a certain thing comes up, and the image that you portray to me, you break that, and it's like, okay, me and you are friends, and you act this way when I'm here, and now that these people are around, or you're not in my space, you act like this. So what do you do with me? Do you put on a mask?
Right.
And that's something that I can't deal with. I mean, heck, one of my relationships was like that, where it was literally okay, you said you were this one way, and then me and you were hanging out, me and you were vibing, everything is cool, and then certain people come into the mix, and then you turn into this, you start talking about these sort of things, and then you start talking about these sort of things, and I'm the only one standing, and I'm looking at you like, okay, so what was that? Everybody else is gone, it's just me and you now. What was that at the party? Because you realize what you said, and you realize how you made yourself look. And then she would go like, that was me, but that's not me now. And it's like, yeah, I know that's not you now, but you still painted yourself in a way that's going to have people staring at you funny now.
Right. That is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then also, they're not going to be staring at you funny. They're going to be staring at me funny, because it's like, wait, you said your friend was like this. That's not the person we got, so what is going on?
Right. And that's true. That's not being judgmental at all. That's being observant, and that's being true to yourself. You're not being fake. Like that person is being fake. You're being one way and switch up. Now they're the person that you know But just a minute ago, you're not the person I know for so long. You're being fake. So I would judge. I don't judge anybody, but I would judge that moment just as you did. I'd have been like, wait, how are you going to flip on me like that?
I mean, yeah, and then even speaking of relationships and things of that nature, I mean, with this writing industry now, it's like, okay, it's like, once again, I write books. We both write books. We all write books. I don't see myself as, like I'm James Patterson or I'm Stephen King or somebody like that. But then another thing about this industry that I've had to come to realize is, before when this was just a hobby and I was talking about it on Facebook, things were fine. I could still be me.
Mm-hmm.
I could still be me. But now I'm not me. I'm Asar. I'm Asar now. So when it comes to my personal life, I have to be very protective of that now. Like, how do you feel about that? Because it's like, it's what I really, it's like I had to realize, it's like, okay, I can only post certain things now. Or if I'm hanging out with certain people and they want to take a picture with me, and it's like, okay, we can take a picture. I'm not posting it on Facebook, though, because I don't need people in our business or people trying to figure out who you are or what you are. Because it was weird because I really went through that where I'm really thinking it's like, oh, hey, yeah, I write books, but I'm no celebrity. I'm not no super known person. And then I had people in my inbox like it was the TMZ Shade Room Police. Who's that?
Right.
Wait, is that your girlfriend? Are you screwing her? Who are you screwing? Yada, yada, yada. And it's like, I just write books. This was not what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm. That's why as you know, you don't see me posting anything. I don't post anything hardly unless it's a book I'm promoting. I'm sharing someone's post because I believe in their book or so on and so forth. I don't post about my life. I post a few pictures of myself, but I don't post anything like that. I don't post. I'm very funny and a very silly person, but I don't do all that on Facebook. I see no need to. I'm just myself. I'm very quiet and very just to myself. Just let me write and just let me be me. That's it. You're not going to see me in the shade room or anything like that, or a whole thread with Shy Soul on it because she said this, that, and the other. No. Because if it's not my business, it's not my business. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm not going to say nothing about it. That's it. I'm just keeping it strictly about books and my business. That's it.
Then one of the main reasons I like Facebook so much is, once again, I can correspond with my readers, correspond with other authors, and just I'm doing so much. It's like with my life, not just in writing. Just sharing all that is cool, but it's like I have to tell a couple of people. It's like, hey, you know me as one person, but there's somebody else in here. That a lot of people on the internet know who that person is. So it's like, it's like I'm not afraid to share my life. I'm a very open person. It's like that's one of the other things. Like I don't really okay, I am who I am, and if you don't like it, I can pull a Stone Cold Steve Austin and just give you the middle finger and then walk away. Okay, like if you don't like me for who I am, I can give you a middle finger and then walk away and not have to worry about you anymore. But yeah. But then at the same time, it's like because I'm an author now, it's like okay, here's how things are. Here's how things are.
Right.
And can you be okay with that?
Exactly.
Because I was in a relationship one time, and me and her were together for a while, and this was during like the middle half of my career, like after I signed with Canvas and things started picking up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, things started picking up, and it got weird because she would literally say stuff like, "Okay, you're going to see these people at this convention. If you if you see a girl you like, do what you do, but bring anything home, and I'm like, what did you just say to me?
Right.
And it's like, I mean, and it was at that moment where it's like, okay, where I realized, it wasn't the moment I realized that I'm an author. It was the moment I realized, okay, this writing thing is not a hobby. This is a career. I'm being noticed. Okay, I'm being noticed by people, and people are noticing me, and okay, this writing thing isn't just going to affect, okay, this isn't a professional thing. This is going to affect my personal life as well.
Yep.
It is. It is. Like, I can't not write and then have it not affect my personal life. And then also being a man, how society and stigmatisms, view us as men.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally, it was at that moment where I realized it's like, okay, this writing thing, like I just told you, it's not just a professional thing. This is going to affect my personal life. Whoever I get with, whoever I want to be in a relationship with, is going to affect my personal life.
That is very true. So it's like, how do you separate? You can't separate it at all. You have to manage both and figure out how is this going to go. I've had many people who've liked me say, oh, you don't have time for me. Oh, you don't have time for this. All you do, when they put that all you do in front of whatever next they're about to say, that means, are you really here for me, to support me, and, we can grow together, and, you do whatever you do, I do whatever I do, but we're still here for each other. I'm here for you. Don't ever say that, oh, all you do is write, all you do is design, and you don't never text me, you don't ever call me, you don't do this, you don't do that. What do you expect me to do? I can give you all my time in the world and still be a businesswoman. Like, am I supposed to put off being a businesswoman to just be there for you and that's it? That's not how it works. It has to be 50-50. There's no, oh, I'm going to put off my writing for a whole week to please you. No, if I wanted to, I could just do like a little bit and then enjoy the rest of my day with you. That would be it. But I'm not just going to put off what I love to do to please you. That's not how it coincides. It's not how it works. You get what I mean?
I went through that.
Yeah, that's why I've always been the person that's to myself and just, do what I love, and then when the right time comes around, I figure it out. But I'm not gonna force anything at all. That's when it's not gonna work. It's just not going to work at all if you try to force something. But for someone to say all you do is this, that means they're not there for you. They're just there for themselves. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and then you have those people, and then you have the people like in my situation where it's like they see your quote unquote star rising, and then they start feeling like, okay, he's doing all this, so he's just gonna find somebody in his field and just leave me in the dust. And that was a situation I was going through where it's like, no, I'm with you. I'm in love with you. Where is this coming from? And me and her, and the thing with me is, and like, once again, I can probably tell you right now, I'm not normal. I don't do what most men would probably do. I don't.
Right.
I don't. I don't do what society would tell me as a man I should do. And the one thing that you're not going to do, especially if I care about you, because for me, caring came easily. With the trauma I went through, it's like, okay, I'm pulling a Batman here. I'm not going to put anybody. I'm not going to act like I'm your friend, because I hate pretending. Yeah, but it's like, I'm not going to say I love you. I'm not going to say I care about you, and then start doing stuff that's the opposite of that. And during that whole time period, during that whole time period, it would be one thing if the financial situation wasn't good or something like that, and me and her were just in a bad place in our relationship, and that was one thing. I could fully understand that because because once again, it takes two to tango. It takes two to make a relationship, and I would just be staring at her, and it's like, and she would just have these snide comments. It's like, okay, if I was talking to another author and we were going back and forth on something, and she was like, and she would say, and we were going back and forth, and she would just get so upset and so freaking angry, and I'm staring at her like, why are you so angry? She's like, so you're gonna act like when y'all get together nothing's going to happen? And I'm like, I'm here with you. Like, what are you doing? It's like, and then it was literally like, I don't know if it was her insecurity, but then once again, like I told you, like when everything started to get, for me, when everything started to take off, she just started regressing, and it's like I couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
Because it's like, because if you really think that, okay, I'm just going to leave because, okay, my star is rising, and I'm going to find something better. I'm going to find Becky with the good hair over there. You know, no. It's like, no, if I'm with you, you're on this journey with me.
Exactly.
Okay, and once again, and if this journey is becoming too much for you, I would rather you tell me, hey, let me get off because I can't do this anymore, and then we go our separate ways. Even though it would hurt, at least you were honest with me. At least you were honest with me, and I can deal with that.
That is what I love. Honesty. You can't have that.
That's all I need. That's all I need. Just tell me if this is too much, and then we'll go our separate ways. We can still be friends. I can still love you. I can still care about you. But if this is too much, just tell me. That's all you need to do is tell me. And that's it. That's all I require. Is just be honest with me, and then also not just honesty, but just respect me enough as somebody that you care about to tell me if this is too much for you.
Right.
Because with honesty, it isn't just honesty. With honesty, trust, truth, anything, it also comes with respect.
Exactly.
It also comes with respect.
It does. It really does. So, my last points, because that was very good. Like, I can tell all that you talk about and all that you believe in, you put all of that in your books. That's what I love.
I do, actually.
I can tell. That's how you make a 5-star novel series. I feel all of that. So my final points is, would you, in the near future, do you see yourself going off on your own and publishing your own work on your own?
That's something I haven't thought about in a while, because it's like, because in the beginning I thought about doing it by myself. And I thought about it, but then I was like, no. And then I was like, no. And then once again, I talked to my mom, I talked to my brother, I talked to my friends, and we're like, okay, you're kind of a novice at this. Why don't you sit underneath some masters and learn a bit?
Right.
And then that's why I'm like, okay, let me do the science. Let's do the science thing so I can learn as much as I can. But then also, with being with a signed company and having other writers there with you, communicating with you, them reading your work, you reading their work. Right now I'm kind of in a place where I really don't know. I don't know in a couple of years because I'm still writing my own books. Everybody at MCP they're writing their own books. But as the more books I read from them, it's like, okay, I can collab with you. Okay, Marina, I can collab with you. London, if you keep keep writing stuff like this, I might have to message you and collab with you. And then of course my editor-in-chief Candace, like, hey, I gotta collab with her before I die. I need to write a collaboration with her. Seriously, that's on the bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the bucket list. But it's like in a couple of years, I really don't know because I like where I am right now. Yeah, right. I like where I am right now, and it's not a thing of comfort. And it's not a thing of comfortability. It's a thing of I'm good where I am, and the more I'm here in this spot that I'm at, I'm growing more. Like I'm growing more. And then also with all of us as authors there, we all challenge each other to go outside our comfort zone, go outside our box. And if we ever need help with that, like I have a team of people to call when it's like, hey, I need help with this, or hey, do you think this will work, or hey, can you read this and see if it'll work? It's like I'm growing within the space I'm in. I'm growing within the space I'm in, but then again, the space I'm in is infinite. There's no ceiling or wall or barrier in the space. We're all growing within the space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I really don't know because I like the space I'm in. I'm growing, and there's no barrier in the space. So all I can do is just keep going higher and higher and higher, and that's good. That's good. I mean, until my wings fall, I'm still up in the sky, so I'm good.
Right. That's a lovely answer. So what I have to say next is, do you have any shout-outs that you want to give on this podcast?
Shout out. All right, now I feel like I'm accepting a Grammy. I don't want to leave anybody out. And then I don't want to leave anybody out. And then they call me, why did you mention me? But I have a couple of them. I got a couple. First my family, of course, my mom. Mom, I love you. Like, because without my mom, I wouldn't be doing this anyway. And to my brothers, Vernon, Malik, Cal, Deej, my sister Candace, my sister Kira. You guys can't see it, but this is for the click. I love you guys. Seriously. To my friends, Cherie, Jose, to John, to Mason, to Azia, to Nefertiri. You are awesome. I love y'all. Without y'all, the last couple of books I've written probably wouldn't have been as crazy as they are.
Right.
And of course, to my MCP family, especially Candace, for all your love, support, and care. Thank you all so much. Without y'all, my books probably wouldn't be as crazy as they are. And once again, I love y'all for all the support. And then, of course, especially, I got to shout you out, even though I'm talking to you, because you gave me this wonderful opportunity. So that's about it.
Thank you. That was nice. This whole podcast was full of good vibes and good energy. And I wish you on your writing path, because I know you're going to be coming out with some more books, and I'm going to get them. You're going to break my bank. But with that said, I love you. We love you. We're here to bring everyone joy with writing. And with that said, good night, everyone. Love you.
Good night. Peace.